Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? It is wet and rainy here today. Let me tell you, I don't think it's stopped raining since I got up, and that was early. Say hi if you're out there. I'm just getting my computer up and running. Looks like, oh, hold on. Get rid of that noise. All right. Here we go. So, thank you as always for my peeps for shopping with me. Appreciate it. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them below. So this is the product of the month for February. If you don't know what that is, it's a special product. You can only buy one. And once it's gone, it's gone. They don't replenish it. And it is in February. If you spend $75, you can get this paper for $5, you guys. $5. So what it consists of is 3 sheets. Two-sided, 3 sheets. Oops, sorry. Bumped the camera. Two-sided. Oop. That one's a partial sheet. So let's turn this over. Because I used that one. So you can see all of this one. There we go. And 3 sheets. Isn't that fun? Turn it a couple different ways. Oh, I think light to dark is better. This is really, really pretty paper. And you can see I used a piece of this one. Okay? So, spend $75, get it for $5. And also, don't forget, this month is the bonus days that you earned in January. Every time you spent $50, you got $5. You can spend all of those this month. So make sure you use those up before they're gone and you can't use them anymore. Alrighty, so I'm also going to talk a little bit about the stamp platform that we got. It's also got a little tab of paper with little nubbies here. If you haven't seen this, I used it a week or so ago, so go and check that out because I'm not going to go over it too much today. You get, this is basically 2 blocks. Think of it that way. And your platform, and I'm going to show you what you can do with it. There is a little grid. If I can pick this up. I cut my nails, and now I can't pick anything up. There is a little triangle here that bumps against these 2 little bumpies. And when you put them in there, you can line it up. Then you set your block on top of the paper. You pick it up. Just go blink. Pick it up. Ink it up. Put it down and stamp it. Big stamp, so I would go around and kind of go up and down to make sure that you get it all. If you don't, and it is, you can't do the magnets, so what I did on mine, because the magnets would be in the way of the image itself, I just put a little bit of sticky there to hold it down. Okay, so like I said, if you want, you can go back and look in a video or two behind this one and see that. But today it's about sneak peeks, don't you know? So I'm going to show you another one that's going to be online in March. Who doesn't love some wood grain paper? Oh my gosh, you guys, write this number down. I'm telling you right now. 167428, Wood Grain Wonders. Why do I tell you to write that down? Because this paper has a bunch of different wood grain patterns or colors. They're all, I think, the same pattern, but here's the kicker. Some of them have the dark and the medium. Some of them have light and medium. And then some of them have dark and medium. And there's everything in between. This one has dark with the light, right? This one has the medium and the light. This one, I mean, they're just, there's like 2 sheets of one and 1 sheet of another. That's what I want to say. So there's like 3 sheets of 4 sheets. Let's see, how many sheets of brown do we got? A lot. Look at this. This paper packet is awesome. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make sure I got them all. 6 pieces of the dark, right? Hold on. I gotta sit down and figure this out for you. Okay, yes. So, let's put this way. So there's 6 pieces of the dark, right? But then on the back side, you've got medium color, light color, light color, light color, medium, medium, okay? That's the first piece. Then you've got 3 of the light, 3 of the light pattern with 3 of the even lighter, okay? And then we've got 3 of the medium, but remember we have medium in the dark as well. And then 3 of the little bit lighter. So there's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4 shades. 1, 2, 3, 4. That probably would have been a better way to do it. We've got 4 sheets, 4 different colors, and then they're different depending on what you pick. I hope that makes sense. Probably just confused you more. All I'm saying is, oh my gosh, it's wood grain, it's lots of colors, and there's tons of it. I love it. Okay? All right, enough of that. Sorry. I hope that made sense. It's really pretty. Wait till you see it. Wait till you get it and see it. Again in March. Either the first Tuesday in March. They usually start things on the first Tuesday in March. Or the first Tuesday of the month. Not necessarily on the first, but there's always an exception. So don't quote me on it. Just look for it in March. Okay. Some of the things I used today was Stylish Shapes. This is the, which one is it? I always write it down so I know. This is the January product of the month that you could get for $5 after you spent $75. Now, here's the little, remember I told you there was caveats? So I showed you that paper and I showed you this stamp set. There's also one other paper. It started in December for the product of the month. If you didn't buy it in December and you wanted to buy it in January and you spent $150, you could buy December's paper and January's stamp set for the $5 each. If in March you want this really pretty paper and you haven't done anything and you spend the equivalent of 75 times 3, somebody do the math for me, then you could buy all 3 of them. But once you've bought one, you don't get to buy any more. So keep that in mind. Like I said, when they go, they go. I don't even know if the first one in December was a bunch of really pretty blues with flowers and leaves and stuff. If you want more information about that, you can go online and just look on the website and put in product of the month and it should come up no problem. Okay, so here's the first one. First, this is the what? This is the second Sneaky Peeky. Flowers Fair. I love this one. Yes, it's a great big huge stamp, which is why you need the stamp positioner. Okay, because we don't have blocks big enough to fit it. Pure and simple, but it's so cool. All right, so what are we going to do with it? And the colors of that pretty paper pack are Granny Green, Lost Lagoon, Flirty Flamingo, Darling Duckling, Misty Moonlight, Pretty Peacock, and Petal Pink. Today I used these 4. Okay. And then also some Memento Black. Just because if you're going to be coloring and stuff, you need to do that. All right. So I took a piece of paper that was of the wood grain. Actually, I think it's this one right here. This one right here, which is not the lightest, but the next lightest. And I cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. So I could lay it on a white card base and have a little reveal. Okay. Then I positioned that onto that piece of paper onto here and I stamped it. Okay. Yes, it was smaller than this. This piece is like 4 3/4 by 5 3/4 if you want to get the whole thing. And I did do that a couple of different ways. But for this one, I knew I wanted it on my card front, so I just cut it at 4 by 5 1/4, okay? And stamped it. Then I took a little scratch piece of paper and I put 3 flowers, like, oh, how do you get that? 3 flowers that I stamped on here, colored and cut out, okay, to layer it. And, come on, Get the phone. There we go. And this is what I came up with. So the markers that I used were all the light ones, light Flirty Flamingo, light Darling Duckling, and light Granny Apple Green. If you haven't played with our blends, which are alcohol markers, you get two. You get a light and a dark in a pack, a light and a dark, okay? All right, so I want to show you how I did this coloring because it's kind of just simple. And I didn't add any bling. I probably could have. But what I wanted to show you, see, there's the one that I cut out. And even though I didn't think about it, but I'm going to tell you so you can think about it if you care. This pattern of wood grain is going straight up and down. This is going this way. So if I did it again, I might have went the other way. But I don't mind it, okay? I glue down the base and then raise up the tops. So that way it has a little more dimension, if you will. It's flatter at the base and just pops up a little. This is the lightest side of the wood grains, that side. So I use that side and that side. And I just did a circle in the stylish shapes. I also just stamped the hello from the Product of the Month January stamp set, and I just fussy cut it. And then I put I just went in my stash, found some ribbon that was not the same color, but it's strawberry slush, and I thought it worked well there. Okay, so there's card number 1. Now I want to show you some coloring. Let me grab this one. Just because when you're gonna do alcohol, markers, you need to let the ink cure a little bit so that way it doesn't pull that black out with the marker, because the marker's got alcohol and it's wet and it pulls the color out. So I wanted to show you how I did this. I'm gonna leave that there. So for the leaves and the stems, I used the little end and I just simply went around and brushed it with the littlest bit of color. I'll show you this in a second. Just kind of at the base, like so. Hopefully you can see that. And then for these bigger leaves, I went to the brush end, which is nice that you have two. And I just kind of added a swoosh, if you will. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. And if you don't get it all the way down, because that's really tiny, just go back with the thin one. And there's the swooshes. Swoosh. I guess I like saying that word today. Feel free to make a comment. All right, so next I wanted to show you which color's the darkest. I think the yellow is a little darker, so we'll use that. So now I'm going to take the brush end, and yes, I turned it upside down. Why did I turn it upside down? Because if I'm going this way, I've got to swoosh it. I'm going to follow the curve. If I do it this way, it's much easier to follow that curve than doing it this way and have to, I don't get as big of a swoop, if you will. Swish. See me? And you can turn it, and I'm kind of following those lines, kind of not. Okay. I'm just putting a little bit on. Isn't that pretty? You don't have to color everything in all the time. It's your choice, okay? So that's what I did on those. Same thing with the pink and the little baby ones. And for these, I kind of just turned it as I went around the flower. So that way I didn't have too much of a straight line. I can kind of follow the curve of the petal itself. Then I just went back with the little one to color that in, to keep it all kosher. And that is how I colored these in. But I just love it on this wood grain. It just softens it up. You could put sparkles. You could put Wink of Stella on it. You could color them all the way in. You could color them with the light and the dark markers. I'm just showing you what I did today, okay? All right, so next, so that's card number 1. Let's keep that one close. showed you that. Showed you those markers. Again, they're the same as the ink colors. Darling Duckling, Granny Apple Green, and Flirty Flamingo. Okay? All right, so next I went, and I only have this piece to show you. Same thing, 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. And I just stamped it in the Flirty Flamingo and used the light Flirty Flamingo to color it in. That swishing on the green and a little bit of the Darling Duckling in the centers of the flowers. Then I cut out the stylish shaped square, right? And I also had another one of these that was in the Darling Duckling. And you'll see why I don't have that one to show you anymore in just a second, because I took that square that I cut out and another one from the paper. Now, I kind of wanted to add the Lost Lagoon in, so I did Lost Lagoon, and these are cloud cover. I could have done this one too. I mean, that would have been just as pretty. But I wanted that little pop of color, if you will. So here is that piece, and I just fussy cut it. I even overlapped it a little there and just cut it off straight there where I wanted it, okay? Nothing too difficult, right? So there's number 2. One more to show you. So the other half, so that was taking this half. So this is going to be for the other half with the other side of the paper. And where's my paper? And I cut off this. I just followed the white line. Let me show you. Just followed the white line right here. So I just went along here and cut that piece off, okay? Then I put it on the card where I wanted it, cut it off, you know, on each side because it was longer. And I took the words, what's the word pack? I took the word hooray, and I don't know if you know, let me grab a block, but you can take your word, because it's kind of straight, I put it on the block, right, like you normally would, but then you can kind of curve it. So if you hold this part, curve that part, and curve that part, then you can curve it, okay? Not all of them will do it, but a lot of them will. Depends on, you know, how thick they are and how, I don't know, how thick they are, I guess. Or, you know, if you can manipulate them. You can probably manipulate most of them a little bit, but that one just worked to kind of, whoop, it kind of followed that swoop. There's that background. It did get just the tiniest bit of that lighter pink, but I think that kind of plays in with the Flirty Flamingo blending pen. And this one again is Darling Duckling spread around. And that is card number 3. What do you think? So 1, 2, and 3. Different ways to do it, right? So you think of what you would like to do. I'd love to know what you would like to do. And if you want the item number for this or anything else, let me know, and you can, you know, get it ready on that list for March. And it's kind of the online, which somebody made mention. It was Natalie. She said, you know how Starbucks has secret menu items? The online exclusive are kind of like our secret menu items. So this one was one I knew I had to have. So which is your favorite? 1, 2, or 3? And would you like to buy any of these products that I showed you? If you want more information on them, let me know. And I hope you have a great weekend. And I will see you next week on Friday. I don't think I have any appointments. And we'll play with something else new. Until then, ta-ta. And sometimes I even come, other than Fridays, if there's anything to update you with, I will put it up on my Facebook blog, TGIF Art Time, which is, thank God it's Friday, Art Time. Alrighty, I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.